Hello, everybody. Hello. All right, here I am again, Michelle Redmond, coming to you live to talk about no product. No product today. Another segment that I am adding to my channel, which I really, really hope, it may be one, it may be a million people. I have no idea, but even if it's just one, that would make my day. To follow along, whether it's that day, the next day, whenever it happens, follow along with me. And I am naming the show Off Your Rocker Cooking with Betty Crocker. I will be the one off her rocker in more than one way, cooking out of Betty Crocker cookbook. Okay, with that being said, on the titles, I will always say, this is the Betty Crocker segment. That way, if I'm doing a product review, that'll just say product review. If I'm doing anything else that I would add to this channel is in hopes, and I started it to help people. And why in the hell would a health and wellness person be doing a Betty Crocker cooking show? Well, I'm going to tell you. Number one, I grew up with a mom who cooked for us, burned a lot of food, keeping it real. She did, but we ate it. And she had the Betty Crocker cookbook. Also, my grandma, my dad's mom, cooked like crazy. And, using a cookbook, not using a cookbook, but Betty Crocker has always been like a staple in the sense of not just my family's cookbook, on the shelf and ways of cooking. But I think for a lot of people and friends of mine, it just goes back to, like I don't want to call it real cooking, but like cooking with real ingredients. Does that sound right? Just cooking in general. So here's why I started it. Several reasons. One, I, as a health and wellness professional, my expertise is in the fitness field. That is what it is, exercise science and physiology. But food is very related to our health and wellness as well. So I'm just going to say it, like in my experience of well over 30 years, a lot of people don't know how to cook, don't want to cook, what if they knew more about it, and all that kind of jazz. So I'm like, you know what? That, and for the love of family time and keeping things simple, and just memories, like just all the memories of like all the different types of foods, because it's from A to Z. Like her you guys, I don't even want to say it, but I will say it at some point, maybe today, maybe not. Something about Betty Crocker you may already know. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? That will be revealed. Um, just the fact, like the books, if you've never looked at a book, at one of the Betty Crocker books, and there are many versions that have branched off of the original 1950. Like to me, that's the original. That is like the beginning of times. Her real cookbook, which sadly, I'm going to have to say to you guys, I'm actually sad about this. Like I can say it now because I'm over it, because life moves on, but I do not know where that book is. I've moved several times and thought I had it. Do I still have it somewhere? I don't know. I can't find it. I looked everywhere. It may have got lost in the shuffle. It may have got donated because I just try to live a simple life and I don't like a lot of things. Where is it? I don't know. And the book that I want to do my show on is the 1969 version. So she had her 1950, and there's a 1969 revised from the 1950, because that's the year I was born. So that's what I'm going to do. And there's a lot of recipes in it. And so that is the one that I feel passionate about. That is the one that I feel I probably was surrounded with the most. And maybe a lot of you out there can like relate to that. And I feel like it'll still be, pre-microwave. I don't remember when microwaves came out. But the book that I do have is this version. So I had like a lot of versions of the Betty Crocker cookbooks, the 1950, the 1969. This one's a 1979. So I was 10 when this came out. I thought about cooking out of this one. And when I mean cooking, you guys, I'm going to start at the beginning. And by the way, I have read the foreword or the prelude or the first couple pages before the cookbook starts. And if you have not done that, I would totally go back and read that. I can't wait to see the 1969 book again. I ordered it. You guys, I ordered it on eBay which I love eBay. That's a whole other story. Which will also be part of my channel. But the 1969 book is on its way because I just thought I can't wait. I can't wait to try to find it. I can't find it. And the 1950 book are on its way, but I can't wait to read the beginnings. Like, see how this has the confidence from Betty Crocker's cookbook. Gain your confidence. It's hilarious. All right, but it's awesome. Awesome, hilarious. Then there's the foreword, which just talks about what is this book going to be about. And then it goes right into it. This 1979 book, by the way, it starts out, and I have a feeling the other one might be different. It starts out with the meats because that is the main meal. And you would base your foods around whatever the main meal was. So that is why they revised it into that being first. And then it goes on to salads and veggies, breads, pastas, and rice, desserts, appetizers, snacks, beverages, and special helps in the end. You guys, here's what I'm going to do. And I have wanted to do this like for a long time. Long time. Long, 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 long time. Cook everything. Not in one day. That is impossible, right? I would think, okay, everything in one day. Come on, there's no way. So I will be doing every day, every other day. Life is going to happen, and I'm going to be out on a vacation. I'm not going to be able to do a recipe every day, but I am going to, as often as I can, do a recipe. So let's just say I was starting with the 1979 book, which I'm not. I will be doing the 1969 book, and whatever is the first recipe. I have no idea. It could be a dip. It could be a meat. I don't even know what's going to happen. If I was using this book, it looks like I would be making gravy, but I would have to make the roast to get the gravy. So I'll make it work where, okay, like pan gravy for roast beef. Well, I would have had to make the roast to get the dripping. So that's just like a poor example, but that's how I would have to do if I was starting in this book. I would have made the roast beef, also would have done the gravy because that wouldn't be too hard to add that, and then go from there. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start at the beginning. You guys can follow along. My hope is that like if I have to bake something for 45 minutes, I'm sure you guys don't want to just sit there and wait in between. So a lot of these I will have to do not live, but if there's any of them that I can do live, I will do the lives as often as I can because it would be interesting to see the chat that would be going on during. But I will let you know as soon as I know when I would be doing the next one. So that way, if you got your groceries, you have the book, you can follow along. That would be so fun. No matter what's going to happen, this is going to be fun for me. So I'm just doing it. This was something I wanted to do forever for so many reasons. It might help you understand how to cook. I'm going to add in my 2 cents worth. I'm going to have my daughter come on, and maybe my son will want to come on, and like guests will want to come on. I'm going to be wearing vintage clothing because I love those clothes from that era. So I'm like collecting things, and I have people sending me things. And I mean, I bought these things, but my gosh, if I could have some of my grandma's clothes right now, I would just do anything. I would do anything to have one of her aprons or whatever. So I've had to I've had to buy like from people I don't know. That would have meant something to have, or even like an outfit my mom would have worn back then. Although I was born in 1969, but she was cooking. Like if she had clothes, I should ask her, Mom, do you have any clothes from when I was 5? That would be so awesome. I would wear it. I would wear it. I'm going to be wearing these clothes while I'm cooking because I am a team spirit person and I would like to get in character. Um, And you can too, you know, you can totally do that yourself. Make it fun, right? Make cooking fun. I know not everybody loves to do it, but if you can make it fun, if you can start learning a little bit on what certain things mean and that um, there's ways to, prep ahead and all that stuff. That is why, if you're shocked, why would this person who's in health and wellness add something like this to her show? Number one, I've always wanted to do it, so why not do it on here and help someone? Help someone um, in any way I can with showing how cooking can be challenging at times. I'm sure some of these recipes I've never made, some of these foods I've never made. I have not considered the fact that I'm going to get to some foods where I'm like, I don't really like this, but I'm still going to do it. And I'm sure I'm going to learn something too. And for that, I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see who tunes in. I can't wait for my book to get here so I can start, because I can't start until my 1969 book gets here, which should be any day. Could be today. And then, I'll do a little like taste test at the end and be, very honest with what I think. And if people would like it, I could give you guys like ideas on, I'm just going to share this. Like when my daughter was, I don't know, I think she was 17 or 18, she wanted a cookbook, and look what I bought her. This is the book I got her. Out of all the books, I got her a Buddy Crocker cookbook. This is not new, you guys. Well, it's the new version, but maybe there's even a newer version since then, but this is what I bought her. And one thing Betty Crocker always did was she kept up with the times. Like, this book's revised from this book to keep up with the times of now. So we may look through this book at the same time to show you, like, okay, this is what worked then, this is what they had then, the 1969, but what could be a tip or a to make it healthier in a sense, because I believe in all in moderation. So yeah, I'm going to cook the cookies, yeah, I'm going to cook the desserts, yeah, I'm going to cook the whatever you may not think is healthy, but all in moderation. I might have one bite, or I'm going to share these things with people. I'm not going to eat the whole thing myself. All in moderation. I don't believe anything is, especially if you're cooking from 1969, that those foods were just so wholesome that I don't think it was a time when there was just a ton of preservatives and things. So those are the kinds of foods that it's like all in moderation. Now foods, I don't know. There's a lot of crap in foods, but this new book, maybe we'll work it in somehow where if I find a similar recipe, like how did they revamp it? Like, I'm sure there's going to be some overlap of here's this recipe, like to see the differences and how it changed, or the tips. Anyway, it's going to be fun. All right. I think that's all I was going to say about that. I just want to get the show rolling with that. I will be doing my next product review tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. The week's flying by, so you guys can tune in for that too. But otherwise, I'm going to start my Betty Crocker cooking. What's the name of my show? rocking off your rocker, cooking with Betty Crocker. I am so excited. I'm starting it as soon as I get that dang book, and we'll go from there. All right. You guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.